Welcome to Silicon Scoop, where we dive into the latest tech news impacting the world. Join John Irwin and the Startup Coach as they explore the tech news that matters to you. Stay ahead, stay informed, and now on with the show.
Silicon Valley has been terrified that AI's energy hunger would break the power grid. But a startup just traded electrons for photons to save the day. While traditional chips are hitting a brick wall, Lume is using light to cut power bills by a staggering 90%. AI inference models now move at light speed. Lume has launched its Iris Nova, the world's first commercial optical server that uses light instead of electricity to run large language models. It handles heavy-duty math through lenses and lasers, making it 10 times more efficient than the best GPUs on the market. This solves the energy crisis of AI, and it allows companies to run massive models like Llama 70B without needing a dedicated power plant next door. What do you think about this, John?
I think this is cool. I'm a little skeptical, but let's dive into kind of the nuances. So the system's called Iris Nova, and it uses a hybrid architecture, which is an optical tensor engine, which performs the heavy mathematical computations, and traditional digital electronics. They handle control and system logic. So this is critical because AI workloads, especially LLMs, are dominated by matrix multiplications, which are computationally intensive, but they're highly parallelizable. So optical systems excel here because light can process many operations simultaneously in physical space. So traditional chips, they rely on electrons moving through transistors, which is limited by heat and resistance and increasingly inefficient at scale. And so this optical computing replaces electrons with photons. So we all know light travels faster and with less energy loss. It can encode information in amplitude, phase, and wavelength simultaneously, and it enables spatial parallelism. So what this does is this allows the system to bypass the physical limits of silicon chips, which are approaching diminishing returns under Moore's law, which we all know. So the cool breakthrough about this, though, okay, is that the system demonstrated real-time inference on billion-parameter AI models comparable to GPU-based systems and up to 90% reduction in power consumption. So why is this significant? Well, modern AI models, like you said, they require enormous compute resources, and data centers are expected to double power consumption this decade. So is this the solution that's going to solve our power issues? I don't know. What do you think? You're on mute.
Well, I was going to mute because I was about to sneeze, but I think I got it under control. So I think of this update like the evolution of transportation. Traditional silicon chips are like a crowded city bus. They're heavy, they get hot, but they're stuck on 2D roads, the circuits. Lume Iris Nova is like a fleet of private jets flying in 3D formation because light can cross paths without crashing and moves through space rather than wires. You get more passengers to the destination using a fraction of the fuel. We'll have to see because this is now available for evaluations and people are evaluating it, and cluster deployments are expected late this year. The idea is this is hyperscale pricing, focusing on reducing OpEx by 90%. It says it's plug and play with existing data centers, and it runs 8B and 70B models, which is great, but does it run other people's models? When they say it runs Llama 70B model, that means it'll run Numatron, the NVIDIA models, as an example, because Numatron is based on Llama and whatnot. Faster, cheaper AI responses for the apps you use daily as companies can afford to run smarter 24/7 models without going bankrupt on electricity. So you mentioned the throughputs of 100 TOPS per watt compared to approximately 10 TOPS per watt for high-end GPU clusters. And exaops with a modest 10 kilowatt envelope. So hybrid systems using 1024 lasers, sources, and 24 by 24 matrix operation. This utilized free space optics, unlike integrated photonics, which keeps light inside the chip. This uses 3D spatial arrays and physical lenses to perform Fourier transformers and matrix multiplication at the speed of light. So it sounds great, but to me, it sounds big.
It sounds what?
Big. We're moving to a chip, a 2 nanometer chip with CPUs and GPUs production, a 3 nanometer, 4 nanometer standard.
Yeah.
This looks like it's going to be big. So when you're trying to build a data center, how much bigger space-wise does it have to be? Because this doesn't sound small.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that size. So I'm curious as to see where we are. Photons are bosons, meaning that they can occupy the same space at the same time, unlike electrons, which are fermions. This is why optical computing can achieve 3D parallelism that silicon physically cannot match. So maybe we're heading into a new area of optical computing, and this might be leading the way. I'd like to see that happen because it might break a lot of the physical barriers, that limitations that we're having now. LUMI is a spin out from the University of Oxford and is a key beneficiary of the UK's Advanced Research and Invention Agency area, which specifically targets moonshot tech that VCs often find too risky. While we think of this as future tech, the basic principles using lenses to process information, optical Fourier transforms, were actually theorized and tested back in the 60s. We've lacked the precise laser arrays and digital checkers to make it commercially viable until now. So the system is hybrid, meaning light can't do everything yet. About 10% of the workload, non-linear operations, still relies on traditional digital CPUs, which could create a bottleneck if the handoff isn't perfectly optimized. If you're an enterprise developer, you should start taking a look at these and see if there's a sweet spot for optical hardware here that you should be looking at. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. Like the direct competitor to this is NVIDIA, right? So it's a direct threat to NVIDIA's GPU dominance. So this is the optical systems, they don't just compete on speed, they compete on cost per inference, like you said, and energy efficiency. So that's where the real disruption is. So this is going to be interesting to see where they go.
Yeah, the disruption here is the 90% OPEX cost reduction rather than a CapEx. So they do a hardware expenditure that they can write off over a period of time, but it reduces the monthly run rate over time because it's 90% less power, and power is the big situation here. So we'll have to see if we're trading power for space and if we're heading into a new era. The inference era is no longer limited by the power out. It's limited only by how fast we can pulse a laser. Would you trust an AI more if you knew its brain was made of light and lenses instead of wires and heat? Or if it was designed specifically to run specific AI models that maybe you don't want to run? Let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear from you.
Tired of drowning in repetitive tasks while your competitors race ahead? Every minute you spend on manual data entry, scheduling, and routine processes is a minute you're not growing your business. Flowgrammer.ca transforms your workflow chaos into seamless automation. We build AI-powered systems that handle your busy work so you can focus on what actually makes you money. Our clients typically save 15 plus hours per week and see their productivity double within 60 days. Visit flowgrammer.ca for a free automation audit. That's flowgrammer.ca. Stop working in your business and start working on it.
What do you got going on, John?
Yeah, just plugging away, helping companies with government funding, attending events, probably startup drinks or a Flowgrammer event. How about you, Craig?
Lots of stuff going on. I honestly don't know when this is going out. I have to check. I think it's going to go out in April. But there's all sorts of stuff going on. If you don't know about OpenClaw, it's the latest AI automation agent that's taken the world by storm in 2026. And OpenClaw Toronto chapter just launched. And we have all sorts of events going on. So check out openclawto.com. Our first demo night is April 14th. We have a builder cafe on April 10th. We have a bunch of other events. There's updates every day. We've deconstructed the latest 2 betas over the weekend that was launched in OpenClaw and what you should do about them. There's a bunch of articles over there. Go check that out. We're also over at flowgrammer.ca where we do N8N automations. We run the Flowgrammer community and do Builders Hub and connectivity for AI and business automation agents. And for everything else, head over to TorontoStarts where we hook up startups and investors at our Startup Investor Drinks. We do mentoring, we do workshops, we have a list of investors. There's a whole bunch of content over. You can also book me over there if you want a meeting with me to talk about whatever, help your startup. Check out TorontoStarts.com. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where should they go and what is that?
Yeah, non-dilutive funding. We're talking government grants, tax credits. Come find me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Right now is shred time, SRNED. But come reach out to me too if you've got a startup, if you've got a company, reach out to me if you have any questions. And if they have company questions about their startup in general, where do they find you, Craig?
Yeah, find me at TorontoStarts.com. But John, just before we go, something's open right now, and it's closing May 31st. Thank you. Can Export. And what?
Yeah. So
what
if
should
you have
people
at
know
least
about that?
300,000 in revenue in the previous year, and you're looking to expand outside of Canada, reach out to me, and we can put together. We can talk about an application for Can Export.
All the links we talked about will be in the show notes wherever you're watching this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to Silicon Scoop. We hope you enjoyed this episode's dive into the latest tech news. Stay connected with John Irwin and the Startup Coach on LinkedIn and subscribe for more insights and updates. Until next time, stay ahead, stay informed.